Grand rising, beautiful. Let's do that again. Grand rising, beautiful people, and welcome to Preakness weekend. I'm actually but kind of tired right now. Yesterday was a full day. I probably by now have posted the vlog of my day on TikTok, but that was the day where I had a speaking engagement, meeting, and then another event. And so it was just like back to back to back to back. And my first event yesterday was at 11 a.m., which meant that I started getting ready probably around 9 and didn't get home until midnight after my last event. So that was like a marathon of a day. And today is sort of halfway kind of a chill day. I am obviously going to Preakness this weekend, but my train leaves at 6 from Penn Station. But this morning I'm taking my friend's graduation photos. Bet you didn't know I'm a photographer. I'm not. Do not book me. This is only for people who are close to me because I have a camera. So I'm about to head out to do that. And then once I come back, I have to pack my things, shower, all of that type of stuff to head to Penn Station for tomorrow, which will be the Preakness races. A little bummed out because it's supposed to rain tomorrow, and this is the second year in a row that it's rained. I didn't go. This is my first time going, but in doing my research, I learned that last year it rained. And generally, no one likes to be outdoors on rainy days. Oh my gosh. But at any rate, we'll enjoy what we can. And yeah, this is actually about to be a weekend. It's about to be a full weekend of things to do. So I'm excited to take you along. But it is now 9:19. I have to meet my friend in the city in Midtown at 10. I'm going to take the train. Surprise, surprise. She still takes the train. I'm going to take the train because I would only have to sit on one train, and that probably is quicker than driving into the city. So yeah, let's go. It's giving Betty with the cami. It's giving professional. It's giving she can do this if she wanted to, but I don't. But the pictures are coming out nice, so I'm happy. We are back home. I got home around 1, and it's now, no, I got home more, so around 1:15, 1:30, and it is now 2 p.m. and I want it to be all packed and ready to go by 4, which is not a problem at all. Because I'm realizing that there's actually not that much that I really need to pack. I'm only in Baltimore for 1 full day, and that 1 full day will only get 1 outfit out of me. And so that is the 1 outfit. And then, let me take out this toothpaste because that's pretty much done. I have, what's it called? Let me focus. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so only gonna get 1 outfit out of me. And then I'm not doing anything else in Baltimore. I'm going to, I get to the hotel, sleep, wake up, have the full day of events, get back to the hotel, sleep, wake up, and leave. So I really only need 1 outfit. The train outfit that I'm wearing, or the outfit that I'm wearing to get there, is going to be the same outfit that I'm wearing to come back. And then I just need one, probably a Skims dress, one of my Skims dresses or whatever, for what I would wear in the house or at the hotel or whatever. And that's it. That's literally it. So 1 outfit, housewear and sleepwear, is really the full extent of what I'm packing. My travel kit. So these are my toiletries, my lotion. Do I even have lotion in here? Yes, I do have the Josie Moran, this mini size. But this always stays packed. I never unpack my toiletries because your girl be on the move. So it has things like my contacts, body scrub, toothpaste. Sometimes when I go to hotels, I'll take some of their things. So at the Pan Pacific in London, they had Diptyque, these Diptyque shower gels. And I'm like, you're not going to give people new shower gels each and every time. So I might as well take it with me. I also took the soap because they gave me another one, even though the previous one still hadn't been used. So I was just like, this is good stuff. I'm taking it. Mouthwash, toothpaste. Because I have a sew-in currently, I pack heat protectant with me in case I need to do anything with a blow dryer to my hair. I already said contacts, tongue scraper, and floss. What else? Cotton pads, but that really should be in my skincare thing, but whatever, I'll keep it here. My loofah, travel size loofah, body scrub. Yeah, I don't think I have lotion in here. So, oh no, I do. Oh my gosh, I've said it multiple times. I literally have like 3 different ones of the Josie Moran. So I do have lotion. Honestly, that should suffice. And then I even have body gloss. Like sometimes I might have some of the extras, but this is the We the People. So yeah, that's really all I could need toiletries wise. And then I will have a second case that just has my skincare. So it'll be things like eye patches, eye makeup remover, face makeup remover. I have to make sure there's enough in here. There is. I normally keep my Summer Fridays jet lag mask in here because travel. And then my Bobbi Brown moisturizer because that's normally what I use before makeup. I always like to keep travel sizes of the Caudalie serum and the Glow Recipe serum because those are 2 of the serums that I use most before, what's it called? Sneeze, sneeze, sneeze. Those are the serums that I use most before I do my makeup, or those are the serums that I use before I do my makeup. And whenever I travel, there's usually some sort of makeup involved. I'm trying to think. Oh, I need SPF in here. Yeah, I do need SPF. I was going to say the sun is not showing itself at all this weekend, but we still put on SPF regardless. And so I'll pop some SPF in there. Actually, let me just go and get it now. SPF serum. And that would mean with the SPF, that would make my toiletries. But actually, I want my Augustinus Bader stuff. I don't need the cleanser, but I do want the essence and the moisturizer. I really do like Augustinus Bader these days. And with that, my skincare is packed. The one thing that I consistently have to pack and unpack whenever I travel is makeup. I do have a good amount of travel makeup stuff, so I have all of my... Dang. I didn't get a new one size setting powder in a travel size. I might try and run to Sephora to see if I can get it before I go. Otherwise, I'm going to have to bring the full size. Yeah, I got to run to Sephora and try and get it before I go. I need the travel size of my translucent one size powder because that ran out. I've reached the end of that, so I do need to do that. Thankfully, I think I can get to a Sephora in time. So toiletries packed, skincare packed. I have set aside the purse that I will be using on Saturday. I'm just gonna use not a major crazy purse to get around today. I'm just gonna have my St. Agnes purse. Oh, I just dropped the bag. Yeah, so this St. Agnes purse I'm gonna use as my like travel purse for me to put all my essentials, but I'm honestly still gonna toss all of this anyways in my duffel bag, my Louis Vuitton keep all, but I'll just have this here and start putting things like my wallet and stuff in there. And then I have packing cubes. So this is the packing cube that has my housewear and sleepwear, so my inside clothes. This is the packing cube that has my clothes for Saturday. Very thin, nothing too crazy. It's just a dress and a jeans jacket because unfortunately it's going to rain. And then this is the bag that has the shoes that I plan to wear on Saturday, which are like these cute little heeled sandals. You'll see them when I get dressed on the actual day. And that's pretty much it. So I'm going to throw the packing cubes and the skincare and the toiletries inside my away luggage. And then I'm going to just put the random extra stuff that I need in my LV duffel. So this is going to have my laptop, iPad. I don't think I'm going to carry a big camera. I'm just going to carry my phones for content and this little DJI Osmo Pocket. Don't need anything too major for that. And then going to carry, what am I going to carry? My tripod, my travel tripod. And then all of my like adapters and things, because I can't tell, I might be editing the photos that I just took, or like I just need to make sure I have all the things that I need in order to look at those photos while I'm away over the weekend. And potentially a storage device. But the last thing really that I need to pack is my makeup. That's like really the last thing. And then like hair stuff, but I'm not doing anything to my hair. I am just using my usual heatless curls. So honestly, if I want to, I can just pack like this stuff in a separate packing cube with my brush, my hair brush and things like that, but it's not that deep. But I'm gonna pack my makeup now and I'll probably check in like a little bit before I leave. Hello, we did it. It is 4:28, so in about 15 minutes I'll be leaving. I want to do nothing more than go to sleep right now. I'm so tired. And I know it's because I didn't fully get my full rest that I normally get. I got home late last night, and then after getting home late, I got like maybe 6 hours of sleep, which is, no, actually more so like 5. But it was also the way I woke up. Like I woke up afraid that I was going to oversleep. And so I got up in a pretty jarred way. And then had to do some work and then was outie. And then that photo shoot lasted about 3 hours, which is like 3 hours of you kind of being on your feet. And then I came back and had to pack. So this is the first time that I'm just like sitting and chilling and putting my feet up all day today. Which honestly is not really a crazy idea because I was a teacher and so I used to be on my feet quite literally all day. But in this moment, I'm particularly tired. However, packing went smoothly. I didn't actually end up running to Sephora because I was just like, girl, you have space. Just bring the full size setting powder. It's not that deep. I just have to add it to my to-do list to do that. I had a little bit of food that's in my fridge. I had some leftover pepper soup. If you know, you know. I don't know why I would do that. Well, pepper soup doesn't actually upset my stomach, so I'll be fine. I just wanted soup at this particular moment in time. My bags are packed. I am gonna take the subway. I'm an Uber girly, but it would take an hour to go by car and 30 minutes to go by subway, which makes sense because I would only be on just like one train. Like there are a bunch of trains around me that go to Penn Station. So like there are many options that I have for trains where I would get there like in no time. So I'm gonna take the train. I'm gonna do it. But I was gonna say I'm like concerned, but I'm not. I was gonna say I'm concerned because I'm bringing my Louis Vuitton bag, and then I also have to carry a Net-a-Porter bag, Net-a-Porter, because that's where the hat that I'm wearing tomorrow is being held because it's too big. It's too big. It's a big hat, and so it just is going in a shopping bag on its own. So I'm gonna be like walking with my away luggage, Louis Vuitton duffel bag, and a Net-a-Porter, whatever. But honestly, I better just get a move on now because once it hits, I wanted to leave at 4:45 for a train that leaves at 6, but I'm forgetting about rush hour, so I honestly better get up now. But yeah, let's go to Baltimore. I kind of like my skin. It's been clearing up. Before it was looking, but I like how I look with no makeup on. It's not like I don't think, it's not like, how do I say this? I feel like I look like my best with makeup on. So sometimes that makes me feel like, like barefaced, but I don't know. I like how I look barefaced. Like, I just look so like young and innocent and like, I don't know how to describe it. But anyways, yeah, let's go.
It'd be good to sit together, but we might not be able to.
11 and annoying everyone but me.
Okay. We're here. Oh no, we're whatever. Oh. Okay. Cute. Welcome home.
This is like a little puppet.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, and they have like a nice little. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna put that down right now. Yes, please. Thank you. Thank you so much. Very cute. Let's see what we're working with. I like the fact that there's a living room though. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, first of all, the thing that annoys me is this is what my apartment in New York should be.
I was just gonna say, but I did want to say, like, this kind of reminds me of your apartment.
Yeah, but like,
Oh,
you see,
this is insane.
this is what my apartment should be.
If you had this closet.
No, dude. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
And then look, the little terrace.
Ooh, it's big.
Yeah, no, this is what this is what a 1-bedroom apartment is supposed to be.
I know. This is nice.
It comes with a little place to hang things.
Oh, this is so cute.
No, this makes so much sense.
Yeah.
This makes so much sense.
Wow.
Good morning. It's a beautiful day to be off at the races. I'm here ironing my dress because it got like rumpled when I packed it in my suitcase, which is expected. So I'm just doing a light little pass over on the iron. We got breakfast, well, like breakfast pastries. They had some breakfast pastries for us at the hotel. Yeah, but it's basically time to get ready. It's basically time to get ready. What time is it right now? 11. We have to be ready in an hour and 45 minutes. So I'm actually gonna start speeding things up, primarily because I thought I was gonna go on TikTok Live, but I think TikTok Live is gonna slow me down right now. Because I want to film a get dressed with me for TikTok. I mean for Instagram, and an OOTD for TikTok. So time crunch. So instead of going live on TikTok and like chit chatting, I think I'm now gonna have to just speed it up a bit because I want to be ready, and by ready I mean done with filming, dressed, and like all my selfies and all that stuff ready to go by 12:30, so that if there are any last minute things I need to do, I'll be down there by 12:45. So this is just how it goes. This is how it happens. But I'll give you a preview of my dress. So I'll obviously come back when I'm dressed. But this is what it's looking like. You know, it's one of my favorite designers, Zimmer. Who got the keys to my bimmer? Zimmerman, if you couldn't tell. But yeah, I'll probably come back when I'm dressed and ready to go and take you through the day with me. But we're on a time crunch, so can't really chit chat. Gotta just focus. You know? My hat is literally, did you move out of the frame, or is my hat just literally blocking you?
No, your hat's just
Oh, my hat is... That is actively so funny. Hello. Good, how are you?
7 people total?
I believe so.
Is there seats going on, or is that... Can you 3 in the back, 2 in the middle, 1 in front?
3 in the back, 3 in the middle, 1 in front. I kind of don't want to sit in the back.
No, I feel like no.
I know.
Someone's gonna
Okay.
Yes, I have it.
We just arrived and it's raining.
No guy. But I know that
Not fun, but we'll make the most of it. Okay. I know. But we're literally about to, oh no, but they have, okay, they have it covered. They have it covered. Ah, greetings.
Good to see you. I'm doing great. How are you?
Hi, oh my gosh, hello. Thank you.
I know I don't know who you are, but your face is so familiar. I feel
Oh,
like my
wow.
daughter's moving forward. Tell me your name.
Annie.
Ooh, face is gorgeous.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
It's so true.
Did you travel in for this?
I live between New York and here.
Okay, perfect, perfect.
I used to
Thank you. Hi guys. I haven't been vlogging this whole time, but I've been having a great time. So we'll chat later. We'll chat later. Oh, I think they're about to start the race. They're like blowing the trumpet. I have to like tilt my head and be like, hey.
I can't even like pretend to be like next to you. Just like, I'm just getting like on you.
We're trying to find a spot.
We got 2 minutes, baby.
What? I got 2 minutes, baby. I know. What?
Those women just went through that way. That way.
Oh, the ones we were with? Oh.
Damn.
And we never saw those other guys again. We're waiting for the actual, like, race to begin. So here we are. Everybody is present. Everybody is present. Everybody is present. Everybody is present. Oh, he's clearing the area. Oh, they brought the police. Oh yeah, I'm glad we didn't even bother. So it's a wrap. We are waiting because someone we met is going to assist us with transportation. And we don't know where he is, so I'm not concerning myself with that information because I'm a damsel in distress. Boy, do we have a lot to talk about. So Preakness, let's have a little, you know those chats, you know when you like go out and then like the next day, the next morning, you gotta have like a little debrief with your girls. Yeah, this is what this is gonna be because the girlies need the tea on Preakness, but also just what even happened yesterday. First, where does one even begin? Oh yeah, so I didn't really vlog much yesterday, which honestly is usually a sign that it's a good time. But also, it's just like, it comes with the territory of like being a content creator in a space where there are not that many other content creators. So like when I go to a brand event, like everyone else there is typically a content creator. And so for that reason, my stuff is still kind of packed in my makeup bag that I traveled with. So it's kind of going to be a little bit all over the place. For that reason, like I don't feel uncomfortable like having my phone out all the time because like it's, everyone understands that like it is our job, right? Versus when you are a content creator at like events. Oh, I didn't need that. When you are a content creator at like events, like social events, and you're there like in your capacity as a content creator, so like the brands are hoping that you get content, but it is not like an event of content creators. That's where it's a little tricky it's tricky if you care about what other people think, and it's tricky if you like want to be not stand, like if you don't want to stand out. Sorry, I can't really talk while I do my eyebrows, so I'm just gonna fill them in. So it was one of those things where it was like, the more you have your phone out and try to record, like people would take like their few little pictures or whatever, but like to be a vlogger at an event like that is fully to stand out. Like to be trying to like, you know, do all of that stuff is fully to stand out. And so I think that's just generally interesting for brands to think about as they like try to partner with more people for certain events. Like if the goal of having a content creator there is for them to get content, which I don't think it is, because if it were, they would pay them for the content. I think really what it is general awareness. Like, oh my gosh, like so-and-so was at Preakness. Like, I'm going to look into it for next year. That type of thing. Like, I think that's the impact it ends up having. But also, like, the group I was with wasn't just content creators, like in an influencer sense. There was like a writer for a magazine. Like, it was just one of those things where it's like they just want visibility and are just going to bring in people from all walks of like content creation, including digital, including written, including magazines, including, oh my gosh, this is why I shouldn't talk while I do my brows, and I know that. At any rate, that is the reason why I didn't get too much content, so I think it actually fares better to do a little debrief, so that if you're watching this vlog and thinking about Preakness and don't feel like you saw much of the actual event while I was there, that is a-okay, because I'm going to talk you through it. So we arrived, and like, because I don't know really what we were, like we were with this PR agency called the Brand Guild. That was who I got invited with, and by we, I mean like the other people on the trip, or the other people who were invited to attend. So like there was a writer there from like a freelance writer actually. There was also some other content creators. There were some reality TV personalities. So that guy Nick from Summer's House Martha's Vineyard was one of the people there. And so like things like that. People like that. So like, you know, that's cool or whatever. We get there. We're all staying at the same like apartment hotel spot thing. It was kind of like, it was an apartment hotel. So it was a hotel, but like the hotel rooms were really apartment suites. So kind of like Sonder or like those type of places that are like apartments, but like you can stay there long term, you can stay there short term, whatever. It was actually really nice. I would recommend it if you are thinking of going next year. But other than that, I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't know why I would be in Baltimore again. No offense to people from Baltimore, but like I don't really think I have too many reasons to be in that city, except for like something like Preakness. Fun fact, I did spend a summer in Baltimore when I was summer after my junior year of college, so before my senior year. I interned at the NAACP. You gotta live like you wanna. I don't remember if that was a song, but I did intern at the NAACP. Is this tracking me? No, it's not. So let's get it to track me again. Thank you. Active track enabled. At any rate, so we come downstairs at the time that we're supposed to come downstairs, and we arrive at the place. Unfortunately, it starts raining again. And what was I gonna say? It starts raining again, and so instead of doing the little red carpet portion outside, they do it inside. It really wasn't a big deal, to be very honest with you. Like it was there, a few cameras there, like whatever. It's no big deal whatsoever. And then the place where the red carpet suite was like in this like little lounge. Like there was a lounge attached to it that Moe Shandon or whatever was sponsoring, and we had to wait there because in order to get to the chalet, which is where our tickets were for, the chalet was basically just one of the houses. In order to get to the chalet, we had to cross the track, and you can only cross the track in between races. So a bunch of us had congregated. You could tell, like, once people started to congregate, you could tell, like, oh, this is kind of going to be a networky, like, type of thing. Not like networking, but also networking, if you know what I mean. The men already were looking like these were older men, so like looked like they were maybe in their 40s or whatever, and like everybody is well dressed. It's a vibe. Think Veuve Clicquot Polo Classic. If you've ever been to the Polo Classic that happens like in the New York area, like it's the same vibe in terms of like people are dressed well. It's people of different races. It's people of different backgrounds. People are from the DC area. They're from New York, all of those things. So that's like the vibe, and it's like, oh, pretty clear, like, okay, this is a good opportunity to once again start and meet people. And then we finally get the go ahead that we are like cleared to cross the track. So like everybody has to be ready to go when it's time to go, because otherwise you're going to have to wait a pretty long time. And I want to say we were like in that place for about like 30 minutes waiting before we could cross the track. But of course there are TVs there that like are showing the races happen and like all of that type of stuff. So no biggie at all. So we crossed the track, and obviously like it's really muddy. It wasn't raining at this particular point in time, which was great, but like the floors were just like gross. It's just like, dang, this is not the type of weather that you want on a day like this, because it's just gonna straight up be muddy. And like you would just rather be in nice dry grass as opposed to muddy wet grass. But we make it to the chalet. We have wristbands that we got once we initially arrived, like prior to the red carpet. So that was, what's it called? So we just had to like scan our wristbands to have access to the chalet. And every time you left, you had to scan to get back in. So if you left to get a closer view of the what's it called? If you left to get a closer view of the race, like of the horses, because our chalet was right by the finish line. So if you left to get a closer view of the horses, when you came back in, you would have to scan again. So that's just like an FYI, but overall it was cool. It was a little cute vibe. The vibe on the inside when we got there was like pretty calm, honestly. And overall, I would say it stayed pretty calm. This was a VIP chalet or whatever. This was not like sponsored by anyone in particular. So everyone could like, so what I mean by that was that like there was no particular vibe. I believe there is something called Afro Peak or Afro Preak rather. Which like, as you can imagine, is the like where the black people are. And that was not, and I never made it over there because to make it over there, you had to basically fully put your feet in the mud. And I had these really nice, cute blue, I had to do a quick teeth check. Really nice, cute blue fabric, heels that I was just like, no. Like, but what I will say though is they did somehow they were handing out boot covers or shoe covers. I didn't get one, but I just don't think I had positioned myself in a place to get them. but like that was a thing that's like cool. Like, you know, they thought about that. They were boot covers. And so if you had shoes that you really didn't want to get dirty, that was an option. Cool. Oh, I forgot to mention, like, again, just speaking to how great of a networking opportunity it was. On the walk over from like the lounge to the actual chalet, like the one where we had to wait for the races to be in between races. There was, well, first of all, there was someone who like, you know, recognized me from my content and was like, oh my gosh, I love your content, da 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 da. And then there was a woman who was nearby, and she like kind of was like looking at me like she had like thought I was familiar, or like she just thought like she was looking at me like, I think I recognize that person, or like I'm curious as to who that person is. And then once that other person kind of said like, oh my gosh, I love your content or whatever, that like kind of empowered her to say like, your face looks very familiar. I don't know if it's like, she was like, maybe my daughter follows you. She was like, I think my daughter follows you. So like, I'm just gonna take a little picture just to like, you know, have to show my daughter because she probably knows you. And that was cute. And I was like, yeah, sure thing. Like, you know, no problem, whatever. So we get to talking, like, cause we're all walking over. I'm like, did you, you know, come in from out of town, blah, blah, blah. And it turns out this woman is the former mayor of Baltimore. Like, literally, her name is Stephanie Rawlings Blake. Former mayor of Baltimore, and like honestly such a sweet woman, so beautiful, so just like nice for no reason. And like obviously the reason is like Black women, you know, we gotta stick together, love a Black woman from infinity to infinity. So like she was really nice, and she ended up being in the same chalet as us, but like this woman is literally the former mayor of Baltimore. So imagine like everyone like knows her, and like, you know, she's, you know, seeing people, of course, because this is a big Baltimore event. Like politicians come out, the governor was there, the mayor, the current mayor was there, and all of these people were like in our chalet. So that was really nice. And then like, you know, we go inside and it's just like, it was pretty calm vibe. So that's just to say that like, there wasn't like a DJ playing party music. Like it was very much so like, these are all people who either bought tickets or individual tables in this particular chalet. Like we're gonna have some sense. And so it wasn't quite the place to, you know, act a fool or whatever. But I wasn't really interested in acting a fool. I just was like there because I wanted to dress up. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I got invited to attend through that PR agency and was like, oh sure, like this could be a cool, like fun thing. I've never been. And like, I have this hat that I got while I was in London that would be perfect for this. So like, yeah, sure, let's go. So that was like the reason I like really went, because honestly, if I really do think about it, I've had a lot on my plate and I could have used some rest this weekend. I'm traveling. I traveled obviously this weekend to go to Baltimore, and next weekend I'm also traveling. I'm going to be in Grenada with Discover Giddy, my people them. So yeah, a lot of movement, lots and lots of movement. And I could have used this weekend to rest, but like I agreed to go to this, and like I did have a good time. I had a very good time actually. And yeah, just to speak to like the atmosphere or the vibe, like it's the type of place where you are walking in like the type of place where the former mayor of Baltimore is like in your chalet. The type of place where, oh, by the way, eventually a bunch of like Baltimore Ravens players ended up coming in because they had a section, and they came like a little bit later. We got there at around, we arrived at the place at around like 1:30, I want to say. But then the red carpet thing, you know, that type of stuff. So then we arrived like maybe in the actual chalet at like maybe around 2. I actually have timestamps on my videos of when we walked over. So let me just double check. Triple check. Double check. So red carpet, that was 1:51. This video that I did was at 1:51. And then we walked over at 2:23. So literally, like I was right. It felt like about 30 minutes that we were waiting before we could cross into the chalet. And then we got there at around 2:30. And I want to say maybe at around 3:30 is when like other people arrived, because people have to arrive in waves, because again, they have to put the bridge down for people to be able to cross over, and that has to be done in the middle of races, because you obviously cannot cross the track while races. That's like you're literally gonna die. So yeah, so like the type of people in the room are NFL players, politicians, things like that. So I would say the chalet is definitely a good opportunity to network, but like it always, as with any networking opportunity, like it is what you make of it, in the sense that like, did I speak to any of the NFL players? No. Like they were all there just kind of like doing what NFL players like to do, which is think that they're more important sometimes. Like no offense to them, but like sometimes I'm just like, I don't know, it gets to a point where when you're in these spaces, everybody has strong credentials of some kind. It's like whether your skill is physical and your skill is mental and your skill is oratory and your skill, what, you know, like everybody in the room is impressive. And so like, this is not really the place to kind of be Hollywood. And I just feel like athletes love to be Hollywood, but I also thought they were young, and they also like had girls attached at the hip. Maybe it was their girlfriends or their groupies or who even knows what, but they just had girls who would never like leave their side. And even as much as it would have been cool to befriend some of the girls too, like they seemed like they had their own little crew. And you know, me, my personal rule is I don't like to befriend guys before I befriend the girls, because otherwise it leads to a whole bunch of drama. So I was like, I'm not even gonna try and talk to any of these people, and I'm gonna just let them have a good time. But that's just to show that is just to exemplify or to illuminate the people who were in the room. So again, that's just to say, if that sounds like your vibe, or if that sounds like the type of experience you want to have, definitely think about booking a chalet. I was in the first chalet. I don't know, and I know there were 2 chalets and VIP. I don't necessarily know what the breakdown was of the second chalet. Like, I don't know who was in that room. I don't know what that's like, but that's just like a thing. Another, like, I also saw like a pageant girl, like someone like Miss Baltimore or something. So it's just like, I don't know, it just feels like out of a movie, because it's just like everybody is here. And maybe this is like typical, like maybe like, you know, for people who go or have been to Kentucky Derby, like maybe this is just like nothing. But I personally have never been to anything like this before. And so like, I'm just like, oh, like this is what it's like to be in these kind of like real prime networking, schmoozing, like, oh, it's so good to see you. How's your wife? How are the kids? Like, borderline performative, but I'm not gonna call it that, but still just very much so like, oh, this is a different world. This is a different world, and everything in this room happening right now is political, and I don't mean that like it's political in terms of like politics and government. I just mean that like people are in the room, and like there are power dynamics at play here. So, but I was just there as a little influencer, you know, I just was there to look cute or whatever. So overall it was enjoyable. And then it turns out, I learned later on, because I saw the former mayor again, and she was like, it turns out I'm the one who follows you. She was like, she has a daughter, and she was like, I send her your videos because I want to send her like good examples of people, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, yeah, I'm the one who follows you. Like, and I was just like, well, that's actually crazy. Like the former mayor of Baltimore, like follows me, like, and I had no idea. And she was so sweet the whole remainder of the time while we were there, because she came to me and she was like, do you want to meet the governor's wife? And I was like, yeah, sure. Like, but we couldn't actually find her because she had left abruptly. But then later on, she comes to me and she's like, do you want to meet the mayor of Baltimore? And I was like, yeah, sure. And she literally brings me to go meet the mayor, and we talk, and she's like, yeah, anytime you need, like if you're hosting anything or have anything and you need like a strong young woman, like this is your girl, and this, that, and the third. So I was just like very, very grateful that she would even do that and like consistently think of me and go seek me and go find me to like meet other people. So love her for that, and just love that I got to have that experience. Moving along to our favorite portion, which is the romance portion. Lord have mercy. So definitely a lot of like, I can see like this is a good place to like meet people, right? There's a good place to meet people. It's a good place to, you know, mingle. But again, it's not like everything is going to fall into your lap. Like, it's good to be positioned in a way that like you're social, you have no problem complimenting people, because that's normally how conversation is going to start, like things like that. Going into this, I'll contextualize this a bit just for fun. I don't think the two are really that related, but I will contextualize it. I am at a place where, okay, so my dating tendencies to this point have been, I have dated black men. Black men are the only type of men that I have dated. Like, I've never been on a date with a white man. I've never been on a date with a man of another race. No, I put the wrong concealer. I've never been on a date with a man of any other race other than black. I definitely haven't been in a relationship with anyone who is not black. Like, that is it. And I would say within the dating, within the breakdown ethnicity wise, I tend to date pretty consistently either Nigerian men or black American men. So I've been in a relationship with a black American man before. I've gone on dates and been in talking stages and situationships with Nigerian men before, Nigerian American men, Nigerian men from Nigeria, like Nigerian men all over. Also, like, just generally like African men. So people from, I'm trying to think, Ghana, people from the UK, but all the men are black, right? And my philosophy for that, like, well, one, I don't get approached out by like white men. I generally don't get approached by white men. But also what I will say is I am not going to put myself in places that I don't want to be in solely for the opportunity to like date white men, or even just date in general, right? Like, I don't really put myself in places with the goal of dating as much as I put myself in places with the goal of having a good time, and having an enjoyable experience, right? But I know that like dating is going to come with it. But what I mean, when I say that, I mean like I prioritize the things that I'm going to find fun, and I prioritize being in the spaces that I know I'm going to enjoy. So even, for example, take Afrotech, like that is a space, black people, right? If I go to Cafe Ozuli in Brooklyn, like it's probably going to be mainly black people. So that is all to say, I say all of that to say that the spaces that I enjoy are spaces that are typically heavily like populated by other black people. And so that tends to be the reason why, like that tends to feed in to my dating experience, in the sense that I'm not going to, like, if the places that I'm going are only black people or mainly black people, then, and my dating experiences come largely out of my social experiences, then I'm pretty much only going to be dating black men. And the white men, if any, to occupy those spaces are white men who have some sort of interest in the space that we were in, right? Like, so what I mean by that is, if I go out of my way, I think I actually did a Get Ready With Me on like my Chicago Get Ready With Me from last year. I kind of discussed this. So if you want, you can go back and watch that. But if I go out of my way to go to something like the Grand Prix in Monaco without actually at least having some sort of interest in it, or some sort of just like desire to, like, if that's not a place that somebody can find me consistently, not like consistently, but like, if I don't care about races, if I don't care about the people who are going to be there, that type of thing, like, I don't want to go there just for the purpose of meeting a man, because it's like, it's way less likely that we're going to have stuff in common. Versus if I meet you at a place that I normally would frequent, like, we're probably going to have a common shared interest, even if you are not black. Cool. However, I have been more open as I am getting older. I'm kind of entering my pasta and lobster era, but not really an era. So what I mean by that is I am now more open to dating men outside of my race. So if I were to get on a dating app, like instead of automatically being like no, or automatically being harsher on men of other races, like I'm actually like seeking out dating experiences with men who are not Black. One, out of curiosity to see how the experience differs, but also because, I don't know, like I've been here. The DMs have been open. I feel like I'm generally a visible person. And still here I am. And it's not like I feel like people are clamoring like to take me on dates. What I'm trying to say is I have not had the dating experiences that I fully desire. And so it is time to cast a wider net, essentially, is what I'm saying. Does that mean I'm like exclusively trying to date white men? No. Does that mean I'm no longer dating Black men? No. In my heart of hearts, deep down in my deepest desires, I would love for the person that I end up with to be a Black man. And it's not like I'm settling. I'm just like, if anything, I'm not settling, because the reason that I'm casting a wider net is because I want to prioritize having certain dating experiences. Like, I generally still don't think I've had certain experiences that I would like to have had by now. And that's just like the experience, for example, of like someone bringing me flowers on the first date. Like, why has that never happened? Like, do I don't like flower? And it's like, I've talked to people, I'll speak to people, and I'm just like, can you send me flowers? Like, I don't actually think anyone has sent me flowers before. Not anyone. People have sent me flowers, but like a man. I don't think a man has ever sent me flowers. Obviously, the thing that might be complex might be like the knowing the address, but like, okay, show up to the first date with flowers. You know what I'm saying? If the circumstances permit, like, why? I just want flowers on a first date. Like, come with flowers. Like, do the regular, like, the OG romantic stuff. Like, my goodness. So, honestly, I'm just looking to cast a wider net, because I just think, like, the way I've been dating, I haven't had the experiences that I wanted to have. And so, like, it's time to see if the variable, like, if we need to shift. So that's really, really what's happening. At any rate, that was a lot of background context for the fact that yesterday, a white man approached me at the race. Not the race. Well, yeah, at Preakness. And I was just like, I'm like, okay, we're already doing something. We're already kind of, we're already entering the little pasta and lobster era. So my friend who I had as my +1 went to the bathroom, and the bathroom was one of those outdoor bathrooms that like you had to walk outside to. It wasn't a porta potty. It was like one of those fancier porta potties, basically. Where is Paradise Venus? I'm looking for a Paradise Venus. My favorite blush. Thank you. Shoot, I need to apply setting powder because my face is looking dry as the Sahara. So I was standing by myself. That's also a pro tip, that you are probably easier to approach as a woman when you are standing by yourself. And I know you might look crazy, but like, just look up, like, if you need to be on your phone, be on your phone, but just like glance up every now and then and like make eye contact with people and smile. That's literally it. Just like if you make eye contact with someone in passing, smile, that's it. So that's quite literally what I did. Like, I was there by myself. This man walked by and I thought he was handsome. And so I like just like smiled, and, you know, we made eye contact and I smiled and whatever. And he like walked past. A couple of moments later, this man returns to introduce himself, and he's just like, you know, I don't remember the specifics of what he said, but he let me know that he thought I was beautiful. He wanted to, you know, come over and introduce himself, blah, blah, blah. So very classic, very straightforward, very like, yes, check mark, boom, bada bing, you did well. And so we exchanged numbers because it was like, you know, he was like, you know, would love to see you out tonight, blah, blah, blah. no problem, no wahaler. I get it. Well, the only problem for me was that I didn't pack extra clothes. I literally came to Baltimore for Preakness, had no intention of going out because my train rather was leaving at 7 in the morning because I had to make it back for this thing that I'm actually about to speak on. So very obviously didn't have any intentions of going anywhere. Cool, whatever. So we exchange and then he leaves, and by the time he leaves, like, my friend comes back and I explain to her what happened. Fast forward a little bit, and he ends up like seeing us again. Turns out like he's also a lawyer, so like that was kind of cool. You know, I used to have a no lawyer dating policy, but now that I'm not practicing, I don't really care, because like we're not in the same line of work, or like I'm not like fully in the same line of work. So he mentions that he's there like with his some people from his firm. I had to do this because my face was looking dry. Like even my under eye is looking a little dry, but I don't really care that much, so whatever. Moving along to the eyes. So I meet them and then we all end up chatting, blah, blah, blah. And this time around, he's like, you know, pretty clear that he doesn't live in New York. I'm not going to say the state or the city that he lives in, but because I privacy, and I like to like respect other people's privacy, but he doesn't live in New York and it's at least far enough to fly. And so he was like, you know, he wants to fly me out, blah, blah, blah. This, that, and the third, like, you know, that type of stuff. And I'm just like, listen, I like that city. I have no problem with that city. So I'm here for it. So end up meeting the people that he came with from his work or whatever, and like we just end up talking, and it was fine. He's obviously getting increasingly flirtatious, which like wasn't really too crazy. But then I think the third time around when we had seen him, he like gave me a kiss on the cheek when he left, like, and it was just like, okay, this is not like, this is fine. However, I am of the belief that I don't like PDA, especially, I don't mind PDA in a relationship, but I do not like PDA under any circumstance if we are not like in a relationship. Like, why are you, because to me it's like kind of like like if you see somebody out and you see somebody kiss somebody on the cheek, are you not going to think that they're together? Is that not going to spoil my market? Like, you kissing me on the cheek in front of this whole room of NFL players and politicians and could be sugar daddy, like you, I'm joking with that last one, but does that really make sense to be all up on me like that? Like, so that's just where I stand on PDA. I'm just like, and then vice versa. Like, if I see a guy kiss a girl as a girl, I'm going to think that that guy is with that girl, and I'm not going to approach him. Like, not that I ever really approach people, but I'm going to not make myself available to be approached by him. So I generally don't like that, but like, I still feel like it's really sometimes challenging sometimes when guys put you in a position where you're just like, why would you, like, that's not fun. It's not, you put me in a position where like, to turn you down is to embarrass you. And it's not that you shouldn't be embarrassed, but like, I don't want you to feel embarrassed. I just want you to give me space and not really be all up on me in that way, and not make it such that to turn down, like, because the only thing I could have done would have been like, I don't do that. Like, and that would have been very awkward, and that would have kind of been public embarrassment. And it's not my goal to make someone feel that way, but like, I don't know, he probably should have felt that way because like, just a little bit too much. But okay, fine. Fast forward. You know, there wasn't really anything else that was really memorable about that experience. So fast forward to when the last race was done. I should mention, he like randomly came up to me, asked me for a number between 1 and 10, and I picked a number, and that was a number he like used to bet. That horse actually came in dead last. And by the way, I don't bet or gamble, so I didn't place any bets because I don't gamble. So that, if anything, was also probably an additional sign, like, this is why I don't do this, because, like, yeah. At any rate, so we're leaving and he's like, he texts me because we weren't in the same place. And he's like, come back with us to the hotel that we're staying at. So my friend and I were like, oh, like, what's the vibe? Like, do we want to? Sure, let's do it for the plot. We were supposed to meet up with them to go take their Uber, or to take an Uber with them. However, it proved to be a little bit difficult to find out where they were because, as you can imagine, like when you're leaving one of these like big races or something like that, like it's mayhem, it's chaos, it's a lot. Oops. So what does he do? He ends up saying like, call an Uber, you can take my card. And he sends me a picture of his Amex, the front and back, so that I can like call the Uber with his card. I end up not calling the Uber with his card. I called an Uber with my regular usual card. And the reason I did that is because like, we're not there. Like, I just met you. And sure, some girls would be like, yeah, like that's the whole point. Like, I don't want to. And like, had he called me an Uber, I would have gotten in the Uber to call him. But the thing is, when you make me work to use your resource, so it's like I would have stood there and inputted his card into my Uber app. Like, that's a level of work, number one. Number two, I was not fully sure that I wanted to be in a position where I had taken anything from this man. And so I was just like, actually, I would much rather, if it came to that situation, be able to like have a clean break and not be in a position where it's like, will you use my card? Like, I don't need any of that. I don't need any of that at all whatsoever. So I was just like, you know what? I'm not even gonna do anything anyhow. I'm just gonna call an Uber with my card on my phone, like as I normally would, so that there's no, if anything goes down, there's no, oh, but you did this or you owe me or whatever, right? Like, because again, I don't know this person. We just met, and though he seemed nice, like, and seemed really, really like whatever, I just don't know this person. And so for that reason, I'm generally not big on like, what am I doing? I'm generally not big on, you know, make his pockets hurt unless it's my man. Or unless you're court, like certain things, like call me the Uber, sure. Send me the money for things, sure. But like, I don't know. I just wasn't going to be there and like sit there and punch in numbers that you have to add a whole card to Uber. Like, it's not just like, oh, like, you know, basically what I'm trying to say is it would have been a lot of effort. That's probably what I'm trying to say. So we go there and we're thinking that we're gonna like go straight to like this rooftop or something at the hotel, and then he's like, come to the room. By the way, this whole time I'm with my friend, so I'm not alone. So because I don't think I would ever go alone, right? So I'm with my friend, and my friend was like, are they sharing a room? Like, are they the coworkers? And I was like, there's no way on earth. And probably the reason that I said that was because I personally am past the point of sharing rooms with people on vacation. I no longer desire to do that. And it's probably because I live alone. And so I'm just like, why am I going to have a roommate on vacation when I don't even have a roommate at home? Staying at home would be more of a vacation for me at that point. At any rate, we get there and turns out he was actually splitting a double with his coworker. And I'm just like, okay, interesting. And on top of that, it just felt very like, you know, like, to be fair, on a day like that, that's like very crazy, haphazard, you just got back, you have to shower, blah, blah, blah. Like, it can be easy for a place to get messy. So I'm not going to go ham, but what I will say is the room wasn't the tidiest, and that was like a little bit of an ick for me. Just a little bit. I'm doing something with my eye makeup that's just not. It was just like a little bit of an ick. Just a little bit. But I was just like, okay. You know, like, okay. And then, literally out of nowhere, like, my friend and I are sitting on, like, one of the little couch thingies in the room, because we're not sitting on the bed. We're not, like, you know, we're sitting on the Chase lounge that is in the room. And, like, as he's doing stuff or whatever, and then he just, like, comes in and leans in and kisses me. And I'm just like, you just ruined it. You've ruined it. You've ruined it. You've ruined it. And the reason that you've ruined it is because, like, again, I'm like a traditional, I'm not really traditional, but in the sense, like, I'm a low-key romantic. I think if you see me on, like, the exterior, you would think, like, oh, this girl doesn't really care, like, she's not soft, like, whatever. And sometimes I like to front like I'm a hard girl. I'm just doing a check on time. But in reality, like, I want the traditional stuff. Send me flowers. Plan the date. Make it special. Something like a first kiss. Like, there's still such a thing as a first kiss to me. Like, and so, like, make it special. So now I'm just like, you've ruined any possibility of, like, creating, like, not that I was planning on doing anything or taking this anywhere with this man, but, like, it's like, if I even wanted to date you, like, you've taken away the possibility of there being some nice, like, artful story about the first kiss, because you just, like, decided to lean in the middle of your hotel room while we were on the couch without even asking if I wanted to kiss you. You know, that's really what it is. It's like, there were no context clues that suggested that I was interested in kissing or being kissed at that moment, and you just took it upon yourself to just, like, lean in for a kiss. And so that was when I knew, like, oh, this is not going anywhere. After that, we decide, or they're like, we're gonna go to the rooftop of the hotel. There's, like, a bar, lounge, whatever there. And we go, and they get a section, and whatever, right? And apparently they were there the previous night, too, because the people were like, oh, last night, good to see you again, blah, blah, blah. Whatever, that's none of my business. He sits next to me at the thing, of course, no surprise there, and just, like, I mean, like, it was fine, but just, again, like, I was very kind of turned off by the touchiness, the PDA, especially as someone who, you've just met me and you've never taken me on a date before. Why is this what we're doing? Like, why is this what's happening right now? Kissing me on the cheek, kissing me on the lips, blah, blah, blah. So at that point, I was just like, okay, like, well, we got food because we were actually hungry and we had wanted to leave. Here's the thing. We wanted to leave to get food. Like, we were going to be like, all right, like, thanks so much, guys. Like, Shake Shack would be great for us. This lounge restaurant doesn't even have a burger and fries. Like, it's too fancy, like, whatever. And they're like, no, just we'll ask them for the menu. Like, we'll order food for you, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, whatever. So we stay, we order a little crab cake. Still, like, it was fine, but, like, I just wanted some, like, greasy food at that point. Like, I wanted some fast food. At any rate, finally, you know, fast forward and we finally leave. And my friend and I are going back to our place, and we were able to leave. Not like anything was keeping us, but, like, I was like, I have to be up early tomorrow. We both have a train back to New York at 7 in the morning, and it's not even like I can go home and sleep. Like, as soon as I get back to New York, I'm getting ready because I have a speaking engagement. I have work tomorrow. Basically, I was just like, I have work tomorrow. And I love that you guys can chill and, like, spend your night here, but yeah, no. So that concluded that interaction, and he still very much so was adamant, like, you know, we're gonna go, like, I'll fly you out, what's your preferred airline, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, you know, I'm a Delta girly, like, I prefer to fly Delta, like, whatever, knowing in my head that, like, this is probably gonna be the end of the road, because although I would have loved a nice little vacation, I'm not stupid. And I'm not gonna put myself in a position for someone to, I don't know how to describe it, but I'm not stupid. Like, it's not that deep. I could fly myself to this city if I really want to and have a good old time. Like, that's the thing. That's the beautiful thing about being a girl who has your own and who has your stuff. Like, I was talking to my friends about this. There's actually very little that a man can do to impress me. And there's very little, it's not that there's little that he can do to impress me, because I can be impressed by the actions of a man. There's not much that a man can be that would impress me, right? Like, there are not really credentials that a man could have that would make me be like, oh my gosh, like, gotta have him. Like, oh wow. I'd literally just be like, okay, cool. And partially comes from me being a fairly credentialed person. So like, meeting a man that went to another Ivy League school is not going to impress me, because like, okay, me too. Meeting a man that has a professional degree, a graduate degree, like, is not going to impress me, because like, okay, me too. 2 Ivy League degrees here, like, financially I'm doing good, like, I'm fine, like, so, and even if he's doing way better than me financially, so like a multi-millionaire, I'm not going to be impressed. I'm just going to be like, great, that's exactly what I want. Let's keep it pushing. You know, like, I'm not going to be like, woo, he has money. I'm going to be like, yeah, as you should have enough money to support us. Like, you should. Because like, if I have enough money to support myself, like, you should have enough money too. And I want you to have more money than me. Personally, I want the man that I end up with to have more money than me. Does that complicate things at this age of mine? Yes. But that's what I want, because I just think like, I don't want the dynamic of what it means for me to have more money than a man. And it's like, especially if I don't know what that would be like for the future, like, I don't know how long it's gonna be for him to like up his game to make or earn more than me. And so like, I'd rather that just be a thing now. But I'll tell the end of the story. So basically, we leave. There are a lot of things that happen in between that like were mental notes that I won't necessarily mention in this video. But we leave, and like, when we left, we made it pretty clear that like we were going back home, and the reason we were going back home is because we have an early train and I have a long day. By the time I leave, like, maybe by the time I get home, before I get home, he texts me like, let me actually read the text messages. He texts me saying, let me know what to do, I'll come to you. And in my head, I'm just like, is something missing? Because we know why, like, I just left. I just said goodbye to you, and you know why I just left. So now you're being very weird, and also saying that you'll come to me is like, what do you think we're about to do, sir? Like, what do you think is about to happen? Like, come to me for what? Come to me for what? So I simply responded to that message saying, an hour later, saying, made it home, thanks for tonight. And then he texts me immediately saying, come through. So I decided that, and then before even that, so he texted that at 11:38. By the time I checked my, thank God I had this screenshot, because I've since blocked this person, and I'll explain. By the time my phone was on Do Not Disturb because it was on Do Not Disturb because my phone naturally goes on Do Not Disturb past a certain time when it's time to sleep. At 11:57, I checked my phone and noticed that I have 5 missed FaceTime calls from this person. And they were like, I'll just put it on the screen. I'll put the screenshot on the screen and blur out the number. 49 minutes ago, 29 minutes ago, 26 minutes ago, 25 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. So once I saw that, I was like, oh, this is unfortunate. I was pretty certain I wasn't going to see this person again. But now I'm certain that I have to block this person, because like, this is delusional, irrational, and weird, strange behavior. So yeah. And then after that, I woke up the following morning, because I think I was in bed by midnight. And I woke up and he texted me at 12:50 a.m. saying, still there? ? And that was when I was just like, yeah, we've got to pack it up. So that concludes the experience that I had, the very short-lived pasta and lobster experience that I had. Am I giving up on, am I like, you know, one thing I will say that is interesting though is the amount of stares that I got. So that's the end of that. Like, so now I'm moving on to observations about being with this person in public, because this was also my first experience like being seen in public romantically with a white man. And was I on the receiving end of a lot of different stares? Yeah, from Black men. Yeah, which was so interesting to me. The first round of stares came when we were at the chalet. Where's my lip gloss? When we were at the chalet, and it was coming from some of the like Baltimore Ravens players, which I thought was pretty interesting, considering the fact that most of them were there with women who were not kinfolk, if you know what I mean. So I just was just like, interesting that you're looking at me as if I'm doing something weird when y'all stay on this type of time. Like this is, I should be looking at you, but I don't actually care what you do because I'm not interested. So that was interesting to me. And like, I say this all the time. If I end up in a long-term relationship or marriage with a white man, I know that they're going to be Black men who are going to be like, damn, lost another one, like that type of thing. And I'm going to be like, it's not the same. It's not the same. I've been here this whole entire time. I've been here. I'm here. Here, speak now or forever hold your peace. So I just thought it was very, and the same thing happened while we were out again at night on that rooftop, where it was just like, oh, people are really feeling a way about me, you know, being out with this man. And besides the fact that it's none of your business, y'all don't want us that much. Y'all really got a lot to say a lot of times. And so I'm like, I don't know if it's that because you find me desirable and it hurts your feelings, but all you were doing, and this is true for the chalet, like there were explicitly men that I know were interested, and the most they were doing was staring. The most. Never to approach. Not once. And I'm like, listen, I can't do this. I can't do this. The attention is going to go to the person who can approach. The most that I will do, and I say this all the time, I will signal. I will provide some sort of signal that I would feel comfortable with you approaching, and that's usually eye contact, that's usually a smile, but I'm not going to walk up to you out of nowhere and make it be known that I'm not going to walk up to you. No, I believe that is what the man should do. I'm not going to pursue you. No, that's not what I'm doing at all. So, and the Black men at that function were not approaching. They were not, they were just not. So if that's how it's going to be, that's how it's going to be. I am going to get dressed because we have our speaking engagement. We're speaking on a panel today. Ooh, I didn't even do my last setting spray. Always gotta hold your breath. But we are pretty much ready to go. So let me go film a little something to get ready. He says that's supposed to be pulled down. He is correct. So yeah, let me go get dressed, and I don't know if I have space in my bag to bring my vlog camera, but I want to. So let's hope for the best. Let's hope that you guys can come with me. Pulling up to the venue. Coming at you live from the green room. Hold on. Coming at you live from the green room. The questions are on this card, so that's helpful, but I'm really just here chilling. I was kind of getting overstimulated in the room. I'm actually never really overstimulated. I know I have something in my teeth. But it's still just good to like have a room that's quiet that I can just sit down in. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing.